and I just finished watching it an hour or so ago.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say about 45 minutes ago for me.
Yeah,
Just
okay. Yeah, I didn't.
What do you think about the episode? What you think? I mean, because I mean, honestly, most of the episode, I was like, it's still healing. It's still. I mean, there was a lot more flashback more than I was ready for. But I guess you have to kind of prepare, get the setting for what's going to happen for all these future episodes.
Yeah, you got to ask the big question that everyone wants to know is, how did he survive the Sarlacc pit? Because obviously that's like the biggest thing. Let me bring this up. There we go. That's the biggest thing is, how did he survive it? You know, because I mean, there's the legends thing that another bounty hunter came and saved him, and obviously they're not going to go that route. And he's just a badass, like.
He refused to die. That's just what it is. Like,
yeah, he what is it? He kill billed it. He just like punched his way out. That's basically what he did. So,
oh, that's great.
But like I said, I didn't know what to expect from it. I wasn't sure what this episode was going to be, or where even the show's going to go. But I didn't mind it. I didn't mind the 90% of it being a flashback of him getting out of the Sarlacc pit and surviving. So,
but it made sense though, like in the grand scheme of things, though he's healing, we understand he's healing. They tell us how you're getting there, but it makes sense for the entire show because now we got an answer, and we understand that this is just Boba Fett is just unbelievable. He's one of those guys that's not going to just die. He's not going to stop fighting. Ever. And he's gonna be really cool. He's gonna bring something really interesting to this whole Star Wars, how it fits in the whole Star Wars lore.
Yeah,
I think I really enjoyed it in the Mandalorian. I think that this is going to be another thing like that. Like in between where all this stuff is happening in this universe, you still have things that are still occurring that are still awesome, and be able to see that from another side. I think is going to be really cool.
Yeah. I mean, also. So it's still Filoni, and it's still Favreau. Favreau wrote it in this first episode, and then Robert Rodriguez directed this first one, which makes sense because he directed the episode that Boba returned in the Mandalorian. So kind of starts this new journey, which I thought was pretty poetic, I guess. I don't know, but I like that.
Well, it also makes sense that you want to kind of make sense continuity because I don't know how you felt about the Mandalorian, but having 4 different directors doing all this stuff, you can see like certain things were more important in certain directors.
Yeah,
and it was a continuity error problems. It was just like the importance shifted from thing to thing. So like if you're going back to Boba Fett, I think it was important to have continuity, like the same focus on the same stuff. So, the characters are going to be the same way.
Yeah. I mean, I you have Filoni and Favreau still leading it. So like they're kind of the Kevin Feige of this spin-off Star Wars universe kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, I in every episode you can tell it was a different vibe. And that episode in The Mandalorian when Boba came back, that was a very, very, very awesome vibe.
And I like the kind of Western feel to it, like just a bad Western badass. Like it's just like honestly, like it's really cool to have like an old type Western in the Star Wars universe, and it's. Saving the day, doing all the things that all the gunfights and all that stuff within the Star Wars. And I enjoy that thought. Taking something old and bringing it new, and then giving a different thought, different outlook like from it. It's not just from what we saw from Attack of the Clones or any of that stuff. It's from a totally different outlook from it.
Yeah. I mean, it's very. Very much so. I was gonna say like also it's so different from everything else where it always focused on the good guys or the Jedi or the struggle. Like here, it's like there's no Jedi, there's no powers. It's just like a crime lord, like kind of criminal lord or whatever he wants to call himself, you know. So really, really interesting where they're gonna go with it, and already you can tell he's not like Jabba where he just like laughs and throws you in the pit. Like he's already being different, which could cause problems down the line.
Oh, it will, because you think more people are going to be vying for the crown.
Yeah,
you know, because when you lead with an iron fist, it's easy to, you know, for people to just kind of fall in line because they're afraid of you. They're leading by fear, and it's not going to be the same thing.
Yeah, I think he already showed he's a lot more merciful than Jabba ever was. And already I forgot what her name was. The assassin.
What's her name?
I have a brain fart. Where she was like, I don't think this is a good this is not good. It's not a good idea. But yeah.
But that's exactly what it is. I mean,
this time Fennec.
Yeah.
Fennec. This time it worked out, you know, but later is it going to work out? But also it's like, how is he still injured, or is he just getting old? Because there's no way he's still injured from everything that happened in his flashbacks, right? Because I was like, it's been a while, it's been years at this point. I mean,
I thought that maybe he was just so hurt. Like, I mean, he should have been dead. By any other person would have been dead. And that's kind of what he's going through in that, you know, they're rebuilding everything. You know, he can't just, and he's not like everybody else. So I don't know how that changes things. You know, he's not like, it's like, he's a clone. Like, I mean, it's just, you know, how does that change things? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I really think, I don't know how what's going to happen in the season. And this episode really didn't set up for what else is going to happen, which is really interesting, you know, like, because usually it kind of sets up like there's the problem or there's the issue. I mean, obviously you had the thugs or whatever. I think they're going to play in it, but it's like, is it just going to stay on this planet? Is he going to go to different planets? Like, what's the deal with it? And also it's like, but I know how it's going to end. It's going to end with either tying into the Mandalorian or tying into the like Mandalorian race as a whole, because he's not welcomed. Like, he's a fake Mandalorian, you know, because you
just can't take your father's, you know, stuff and just keep on saying, I'm a Mandalorian. All right.
It's like you're like a bootleg basically. And we have what's her name?
Great value Mandalorian.
Bo-Katan's like, you're not a real Mandalorian. And, you know, he's like, F off. Yeah, I am. You know, so I think it's gonna be that. It's gonna be him either leading in with Mando and them kind of dealing with whatever that's going on in that side of the story, or just him dealing with him being a Mandalorian, you know, like, is he really one? I think it's going to be one or the other, you know, or maybe a combination of like both. But
I think a combination of both sounds good, because that way you can still set up, you know, the next season of Mandalorian. You can bring them in and out of each other's arcs and everything. I mean,
I don't know how many episodes is this going to be? Did they say?
I was literally trying to look at where we were talking.
Yeah.
I was right on the page. I was like, let me. I feel like it's going to be, was it 9 like or 10?
Right? Yeah. 7 episodes, I think it says. The first perhaps only 7 episodes.
Really?
Yeah. February 9th is the last episode. So
that seemed a little short.
Yeah. I mean,
not that, you know. I mean, I know you can cover it, but it was only 38 minutes long. That's what the first thing that shocked me. I was like, wow, this is kind of short. And now you tell me it's only 7 episodes. So really, this is not even like a movie, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of people are expecting it to be another The Mandalorian kind of show. And from this, I don't know if it is. I think it's gonna be a filler in of Boba. You know, I don't think it's really gonna explain much him like of a new story rather than it's gonna fill in a backstory and set him up for him being in the Mandalorian later. You know, that's what I think it's gonna be. You know, it's gonna be like, oh, here's a little side story, so you're all caught up when
so you
Mando
understand
season 3 comes out.
So you understand why he does what he does and his connection to
Yeah.
the power that he has in this, you know, part of the universe.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I think might happen. But again, I really don't know. I have no idea what they plan on doing with this show. It's really weird.
As I said, 38 minutes wasn't enough to show you anything that really happened, because I mean, most of it was flashback, most of it was showing just how badass he is and how he can get out of a lot of situations, and
yeah,
that was most of the episode. That was literally 26 minutes of the episode.
yeah, basically. I mean, he had the one fight with the other chick, I can't forget her name, from she was a Twi'lek from when they went to the new bar. And he's like, oh, hey, I'm in charge now, and she was like, oh yeah, it seemed very like cynical, like sarcastic, like oh yeah, you're in charge, you're yeah, this is all yours now. Yeah, that's why I kind of felt like you know, it's like are they fearing him the same way they feared Bob or Jabba? That was kind of my
he's going to have to do something, and I think that's something else we're going to see. He's going to do something to invoke fear from them, or do something that's going to show that he is the new man.
Yeah, that he's a badass, or he just might be like, I don't want to do this anymore, and then you know,
bounce,
get out. Yeah, he's like, let you guys deal with it.
I feel like he's going to show that he is a Mandalorian. I think the Mandalorians are going to end up, because they're changing as we see. You know, the idea of what a Mandalorian is changing. So if he can show that, then maybe he'll leave. But I feel like right now he's gonna try to, you know, really use his empire. And see what he can do with it.
Yeah, and it's gonna be interesting. What do you think about any of the so there's obviously a lot of the flashback scenes, him with the where are they, the sand people?
Sand people.
If there's like a technical name, because calling them sand people seems kind of borderline racist. But yeah, I'm trying to remember the Tuscan Raiders.
The Tuscan people, the Tuscan Raiders.
Yeah, the Tuscan. Yes, or referred to as the Sand People or the Tuscans. They're never shown in a positive light. Besides the only time in The Mandalorian. It was the only time when Mando spoke to them and they were cool. They're like, yeah, we'll help you. You know, like, you know, because you got what happened in the original trilogy, then in the prequels, Anakin just, you know, went nuts and killed.
Just killed everybody.
It just killed everybody. So I mean, I get why they're probably not so happy to see new people either. But I mean, they're just never put in a good light, and this episode still didn't put them in a good light. It kind of it seemed like they respect power. That's what it kind of like. You kind of understand them a little bit more though too.
What's the thing? I think they fear, they respect fear. If someone shows, you know, you say power, but that you should fear me, then they'll go ahead and say okay. Yeah.
Because the way when it ended with Boba killing that weird creature, that thing looked cool. I don't know. I'm sure there's a lot of people like, oh, the graphics suck. That thing looked badass. I don't care. That was pretty awesome. I mean, I don't know what, like, because I don't think I ever read or seen that creature before. I don't know about you.
No, and I mean, it has to be something that, you know, that they fight more often. I don't think I've seen any of the stuff like I'm talking about in the Clone Wars, in the cartoons, or any of that stuff. I don't remember it.
Yeah. If it's a new creature, then that's awesome. Man, I'm down for that. But when they came back to the camp after he, you know, just ripped his head off, basically, And I couldn't tell if that was what me and my girlfriend were talking about. Was like, did the kid act like he did it, or is he telling the story of how Boba did it?
I
And
think he
I
was
couldn't
telling the
figure
story
out.
about how Boba was, or who Boba, what Boba did, and then
Yeah,
he did, and I think that's what
yeah.
the legend
I don't know,
of
because
Boba is going to grow from this.
yeah, because I kind of took it like the kid was saying he did it because they were all cheering the kid,
Yeah,
but the leader of the Tuscan of that group kind of like was drinking the water, and then you went to Boba, and it's like, to me it was like, oh, I know he didn't do it. I know it was you, and gave him like the water. He's like, here, like that's what I
can
took it
see
as,
that.
but I don't know either.
I thought the kid was just telling a
It's hard to.
story about what it was, and they didn't know, and no one knew who actually did the feat because it's not the kid. That I think everyone knows it's not the kid, but
Yeah,
I think the leader knew it was Boba, and that's why he was
yeah.
getting respect.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was thinking. So yeah, that's why I was like, they tested him a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Like, can he make it back to the camp, which he did. It was like, also then, he fought the dog, which was pretty awesome, and then he fought the other Tuscan, and then he got his butt kicked, obviously.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Were you surprised about that? That he got his
no,
butt kicked?
no, because he just got got eaten, so he was ready to die. Had to escape, a belly of a monster,
Yeah.
and then sun dried, in the desert for a while, and then dragged, and then starved, and so he wasn't 100%. He was borderline dead. Like and for him to do what he did, I thought was pretty badass. But there's no gas in the tank, So yeah. We got
Dr.
Mr.
Derby says,
Derpy or Dr. Derpy.
So I finished the first episode early this morning. It wasn't perfect, but in a good way. It's a good way to open the new chapter of Star Wars. I'm curious how we'll go for the future. I'm the exact same way. I feel like this is a really good way to open up the Star Wars universe. And you can go any way.
Yeah.
7 out of 10 for me.
That's
I'll probably be a little bit higher. I'll go a little higher than that. Just because a 7 out of 10 in my mind is a C. It's just like school. I feel like it was. I think average.
I think it was a slightly above average. I would say 7 or 8 out of 10. Usually what we do, because I think there's always so many issues of it's 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, blah blah blah. So like on Spoiler Kings, we keep it kind of simple. We do now, later, or never. So since we're already talking like ratings, what would you rate this movie? Like, would you tell somebody to watch it now, or watch it later, or watch it never?
You have to watch it now. I don't care if you beginning of this episode, you have to watch it now, and it's going to be one of those things that, every time on Wednesday, you're going to find time on Wednesday to watch it. You're not going to waste time. Yeah. You're not going to watch it on Thursday. Don't watch it on a Friday. Oh, wait till the weekend. Okay. No, you're going to make sure you watch it now.
Yeah, I would give it a now. I'm not as hyped as I was with The Mandalorian. Like at the end of episode 1 of The Mandalorian, I'm like, that's it. Like I know what I'm doing every day. This comes out. I think originally it was Fridays, and then that's when they changed it to Wednesdays or something. Was during the first season of Mando. But I was like, the music, the issue that happened. Well, I don't think it's not a spoiler. Like he found baby Yoda, quote unquote.
If you don't know by now, come on, look at the toys. Come on, man.
Yeah, exactly. But it was just, that was mind blowing. But I think that's a story it was going to lead somewhere. I think this one is just going to be a filler. Like, hey, here's Boba. Here's why he's awesome, and then we'll see him again in season 3. Like I feel like that's what they're kind of going. The way that it ended.
I think he's going to have a good story in between.
Yeah,
but I think I think it's going to be one of those things. Doesn't have enough information, enough action to keep it going. Are you going to really find really need a true villain? Who's going to be the negative? who's going to be to make you look better? You need to have that negative part too. And are you going to get that here, or are we just going to? Is this going to be a story? Just a story to kind of get you back into the Star Wars universe and to put it back to where they want to do it, and they can go from here. You know, because I mean, if you want to be honest about Star Wars, it's been all over the damn place. Mandalorian really saved the day. So
but yeah, Dr. Drippy was I'll tell him to watch it now, but the pacing is what I had the problems with. Yeah, like I think that's what we said, is short.
Yeah. I mean, but also I think that because it's so many flashbacks, it's hard. It's not a lot of new information. You're not moving the story along because you're already at this point and you're showing how you got to that point. So I think that's hard when you're in your first episode, but I think that you have to do because there's so many unanswered questions.
Yeah. There, I kind of like, that's why I wasn't upset with them answering that question of where Boba was or how he's got saved. But I don't want this to be 7 episodes of just flashbacks. Like, okay, the first one,
27 minutes gets too long for a 38-minute show of flashbacks.
It's the flashbacks too. I like for the first episode, I don't mind. The second one, there's still a little bit of flashbacks left, but by the time you get to episode 3, you should already kind of be caught up in him figuring out like the now problem, not how he fixed himself before. By episode 3, I don't want to see no more flashbacks. Like, that's it. Like,
hope is that actually halfway through episode 2, we're done with that, and you start getting to what the problem is going to be that they need to solve. Because if you do that too long with 7 episodes, I don't know how you can be a great series. I feel like you have to introduce the problem early enough in the series that people can enjoy Boba Fett for what he is. If not, you introduce it too late, then it's just introduction to the Star Wars universe, and then we're not getting a real story, and you're actually doing a disservice to it.
So Dr. Breeze, the theme to the show is a banger though. I've been vibing to it all day. It was pretty good. It's also Ludwig. It was the same guy who did the Mandalorian music, did this one, which makes sense, for sure. Good music. I like it. It's not crazy. I want to say it's not really like over the top. Like the original music is just like, it starts off with the big bang, like in your face, and it's just like, like big orchestra. This one is kind of like, and same thing with Mando. It's very like a chill.
Well, I feel like it feels like a heartbeat almost, like, because it kind of gives you as it's a character in itself, so it kind of builds you that way. So like, okay, now you feel the pacing, and if they follow the music, I feel like the pacing issue would kind of subside. I don't think we won't have that problem as much. But I feel like when you go on flashbacks, it's hard to follow that stuff because you're showing what happened in the past. So they're going to be some lulls.
Which I guess that's just kind of the issue you have, where Mando's a brand new character, so you can start him off fresh and figure out his background throughout the series. Mando has got, or Boba's got a fan base, one of the biggest in Star Wars. So I think you had to kind of do stuff like that. It feels like you were conquering.
Yes. Exactly.
And you said it feels like a character. Like, I think that's what you said, and that's like so true with all of Star Wars. Like, the music needs to kind of be bigger than just the sound. It needs to be a character. Like it tells you what's going to happen, like who's what.
You hear certain things, and you think about what is the baddest thing you've ever heard, like for any villain ever. The march for Vader is the greatest
Imperial
music
March
you ever heard. It's the greatest thing ever, and you hear it. It's a character, exactly. It brings it in and gives you that. That's why I feel like that is so important in Star Wars, and having that extra character, having that setting set. So that's why I'm hoping that this episode was more just trying to build it up, and then we're going to have that type of feeling.
Hold on, sorry. Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, so you might want to delete that bot mess. Yeah, we've been getting a lot of those lately. It's really annoying. I need to set up an auto bot kind of thing. But yeah, yeah, it's really good. Like it needs to push like the book the Mandalorian. That music was it's my ringtone, dude. That's what people call. It's still my ringtone. It's so good. And this one, same thing. You know, it needs to have a different feel than Mando. You know, but yeah, I agree. The music was really really well done.
Is that something I like the question, graphics. Is that something you question? Will it be strong enough to stand alone?
I think so.
Because no one thought the Mandalorian was going to be as well. I'm saying is the show. Boba Fett, yeah, the show itself going to be strong enough to stand alone. Because no one thought the Mandalorian was going to be. We thought it was going to be good, but no one thought it was going to be that good.
Yeah. Autobody say you got the touch, you got the power. Oh man, I wish I had.
That would be so. Oh my goodness, that would be great.
I have the I know it's a little off top. I have the original VHS of the Transformers movie. That song is on. Yeah, I gotta find it. There's 4 VHSs that I refuse to get rid of for whatever reason. One's the original Transformers movie. One is Masters of the Universe, the original He-Man live action movie. Mario Brothers.
I love that movie.
Yeah, I have the original Mario Brothers with John Leguizamo and I can't do whoever else. And then also Sword in the Stone, the Disney Sword in the Stone, old school. I have those. Never once have I ever like, I'll get rid of them. Never has it ever. So I'm like, those are mine forever.
Oh like, no, the Transformers one. I have a Transformers on VHS too. But it was taped off of TV. So like, it was like I let it hit record and play, and they're like, "Why do we have this?" It's like, don't touch that. Yeah, that's daddy's. Let's put that down.
Yeah, you don't know what that is. Oh my god! Wait another like 10 more years and show them what a VHS is. They'll be like, huh? Like wait, they're like 16 or something. And I'm like, what's a VHS? Yeah, exactly. Like.
Oh man, so funny.
I mean, at that point, you could even go DVDs. Like everything's Blu-ray and streaming. Like, what's a DVD
streaming now? That's crazy.
Yeah, that meme was like the daughter walking the grandmother. Like, back in my day, Netflix sent you DVDs in the mail. Like, sure they did, Grandma.
No. Oh man. Well, okay, so here's my question: where do you think they're going to go from here?
I don't know. I think the gang that we saw in his flashback that were on the little biker gang, it looked like they tagged like the JL or the JJ. I forgot what it was. I think they're going to be connected with those guys that attacked them in the street somehow. And I think that's how they're going to tie the flashbacks in with what's going on now. And it's going to be a gang war for power, which is kind of bland. And I hope, it's just not that simple. I hope it's something bigger, but you never know.
I think they're really going to bring in the Mandalorians into this.
That's what a Blockbuster was.
Blockbuster. You don't know about what's going to Blockbuster, and you got there after 7 o'clock, and there's no videos left, or I had to go to Family Video, and there's nothing behind the little thing. Yeah. You guys don't even know. I worked at a Family Video for like 20 years ago. I worked at a Family Video. I watched all the movies all the time. That's why. I did. Went to the favorite section, just took it all.
Yeah, that's the best. That's the best. My mom worked at Blockbuster, so she would bring home the screrners. So I would watch a movie, which is that was always so cool. Blockbuster is just I wanna take a trip to was it Oregon? I think where they have the last one. That'd be fun. But yeah, Blockbuster. All right, yeah. Let's get back on track so we can move on to The Witcher. How do you think it's? Where do you think it's going to go?
I really believe that they're going to bring the Mandalorians into it. I think that's going to be. He's going to have to make a choice. He's going to get the power and get the respect just like Jabba in a different way. But the Mandalorians are going to come in, and he's going to have to make a choice. And they're going to say, we need your help. We need you to do this. We need you to be this. And he's going to have to make a choice between what he is and what he could be. And where is it going to go from there? And that's how it's going to go into the Mandalorian season 3.
I like that. Because then, I like that. Because then, like, the first 2 episodes can be them doing their thing in there, or first episode, and then it leads into them to the end of Book of Boba, and then it then continues. I like that. I can see that too, because the Mandalorian, like, was a race, I guess, are very, like, prideful, very, like, I mean, you have the old ways, like how Mando was raised, like, don't take off your helmet. But then you have, like, the new, ones where, like, hey, we don't give a shit, like, what. So yeah, that'd be interesting. I'll be like, hey, do you want to stay a crime lord, or do you want to come back and reclaim your heritage? Yeah, kind of thing. That'd be cool. Honestly, oh yeah, more excited for Ahsoka more than a Kenobi.
Well, I saw that. I was like, man, first of all, that's perfect casting. Second of all, yes, because Kenobi, I mean, you kind of know the story. You know what's going on. I mean, you don't know before he did for those years, but you kind of do. Like, kind of know the end. It's like, all right, but Ahsoka, that's going to be interesting. That's going to be awesome.
I mean, I think enough between the comic books and Rebels. Kind of gives you a little backstory of when Darth Maul goes crazy looking for Kenobi, So, and then the comic books that are canon now, the Kenobi looks cool just because they're gonna bring back what's his name, the guy who played Anakin, Christian Henderson. Yeah. They're bringing him back, which would be cool. But that's really the only thing. Ahsoka, I feel, has so much story left. Like, and you can go anywhere with it.
So cool.
Like, I loved Rebels. And when they brought Ahsoka into Rebels, that was it. I'm like, I'm 100% invested at that point, and her, if they bring Sabine, well, they already said they're bringing Sabine in. Like, the lady who voiced Sabine is gonna play live action, which is awesome, because you already had what's her name, that voiced Bo-Katan came in as Bo-Katan. I was like, that's awesome. That's so cool, and obviously she's a big actress. But
so I think that you have to do right now, for all the people that love Star Wars, right now we have to rebuild it. We need to rebuild this, and we have to take the best parts of it. And I think that's what they're trying to do. So okay, we got that. I understand why they're doing it with Kenobi, Obi-Wan. I mean, you understand, but they're trying to rebuild the foundation. But I feel like, as I said, we already know what's going to happen with that. If you look at the cartoons, you look at the comics, you kind of know what's happening, what happened. So I don't know. I'm hoping for this.
I wasn't a fan of Rebels at first. Very weak story, but then it got better as it went. Definitely. It took a little while, and really Ezra was my biggest issue. I don't know how you felt about it. Star Wars has a thing when they take young men and they make them crybabies. They make them complain. They make them like they did it with Luke. They did it with Anakin.
They did it with Kylo. Like a teenager. They're teenagers. All they do is cry, and then it's only the men out there that are doing it. That's just God. Like,
you seem like a brat
behind this guy.
They make all the men very bratty. I don't know if that's on purpose or that's how George Lucas was, so that's how he made all his characters. I don't know, but once he became less bratty is when the show got better, and then obviously for me, once Ahsoka was in, it was just like, sold.
We're not going to focus on you.
Yeah,
That's what it was.
Yeah, but that we're maybe we'll talk about Rebels before we get into Ahsoka, because I know that's going to tie into it when that time comes.